Okay. So, good afternoon, sir. My name is Akshaj. I am representing Birla Open Minds International School. Well, this is the meeting regarding how managers function across different fields. Now, do you have anything to say before we start the interview?
Good to know you through a strong referral.
Yes,
Hope
sir.
to have a good interview with you. Yeah.
I'll start with the first question. Could you briefly introduce yourself, your role, and your organization?
Okay. So I'm Natarajan. I work as the Joint President and Country Head Sales for Grasim Industries Limited, a part of Aditya Birla Group. And I head the sales function, right? Managing a revenue of close to $2.5 billion based at India.
Of course, sir. And now move on to the first question. How do you normally plan and organize your team's daily tasks and activities?
Actually, I don't plan my team's task. Teams have to plan their own task. We work from the you know, top view of the management. We just fix the goals for the team members. We fix KRAs, key result areas for the team members. Okay.
I see.
And then they have to meet the timelines and goals as agreed mutually between us during the beginning of the year. We keep reviewing it. We don't get into the micromanagement of the teams, but we are more interested in the results and the efforts, which we monitor on a weekly basis with our teams actually.
Of
So I do
course.
weekly review with my team. Yeah.
Yes. Now, following up on the question, you mentioned earlier that you set the deadlines a year prior. So, do these deadlines vary every year or is it the same?
Of course, it varies. It's dynamic because we are a progressive organization. We have to be having a progressive goal, which is very ambitious, stretched, but realistic, right? Humanly possible. So based on that, we keep increasing the targets. Never our salaries goes down, never our profits goes down. So we
Of
need to
course.
increase the targets also for the individuals and the teams.
Of course. Now, when it comes to the tasks that are assigned to your employees and or your colleagues, what methods do you normally use to monitor such tasks?
What method? Can you repeat?
Like, what methods do you normally use to monitor their task progress or just like if they've done the task at all and stuff like that?
See, actually, we have generally we run projects to achieve our goals, right? So every project is named within our organization. Okay, based on the need of the goal, we will name the project name, and there will be a spot for it. The first person responsible for it, and there will be the co-partner for the project, and a big team will be there for it. So we always give timelines, the action plan, and the results to be achieved by what timeline. So this is generally set, and when we review all the action points, we will review and whatever has been done by the team during the period we review, and then whether they're falling within the timelines or they're facing any problems. And if there is a problem genuinely, if the target was not achieved within a period, but they put their best efforts, we sit again and review and refix the timelines. Okay. So it's generally done with my zonal heads on a weekly basis. And we ensure our monthly targets are achieved, and then we monitor quarterly results. Okay, so it's weekly, monthly, quarterly, and finally annually. We have to compound together. We have to achieve our annual results.
Of course. And now, moving on to the challenges that you normally face. Could you share an example of a recent challenge you had in the workplace and how you overcame it or solved it?
Okay, so we do the planning and budgeting exercise for our business, right? Which we do actually 3 to 4 months ahead of the financial year. For example, the financial year starts in April. We do our planning and budgeting exercise completed by December itself. Okay, last year when we did our planning and budgeting exercise, we thought the market is going to be good, and we took a stretch target. And unfortunately, we are not able to reach the targets. During the year, we find it very, very difficult to do it. So it really, the management gets embarrassed when we are not able to meet the targets, not able to meet the chairman, right? Finally. So we had to be courageous enough to go back and tell the management these were the assumptions we had, and we need some more time to fix these things. So we wanted additional resources. We wanted additional budget in terms of campaigns, etc., what we have to do. And we asked for a extended 6 months time to prove the results. Instead of starting the results from Q1, we started getting from Q3. But we said we will cover it up in the subsequent quarters and ensure we get into the target at least by 80% or 90%. Okay.
Of
And
course.
management appreciated it. It's it's realistic. So we have to go back and tell to the boardroom the truth also sometimes, seek support from them, and then use larger resources to accomplish our goals. And we have to meet it finally.
Of course. And are your managers understanding of why you're taking these many days to finish tasks and such?
So like I review my teams weekly, even my manager review me weekly. Okay. We handle larger regions. So it's not that they are suddenly surprised by a shock or something.
Sorry.
So, good leaders appreciate the dynamic situation in the market. The geopolitical situation is not in your control sometimes, right?
Of course.
So a lot of things are happening around. US is putting tariff on India, on China, which impacts the global trade. And all these changes are expected. And accordingly, the leaders have to align to the reality. So every good leader accept it.
Of course. Now, as you previously mentioned on how current events impact your section of the industry, how much do you think it affects the job of your fellow colleagues and managers?
Uh, See, I think uh, organization needs people and people needs organization, right?
Of
So
course.
as long as we are doing our job to the best extent, right? I don't think it really matters, Industry will go through ups and downs, okay? It applies to the individuals also. When the company faces challenges, individuals also faces challenges. We hear a lot of layoffs, job being removed from the organization, etc., even in big corporates. But this is the fact. But once your skill sets are there with you, once you're aligned to the industry requirements, I think, we'll get our place in the industry in some, good area again. So nothing to worry about it. Yeah.
Now, what do you normally do if your colleagues or employees think otherwise? What do you say to motivate them to keep working?
See, I think we allow opposition thinking. It's not necessarily my teammates think the same way I think. Okay. So, it's always good to have opposite thinking and, have good discussions and debates and finally coming to a consensus. The leader's role is to align to the different views and making the team align to the common purpose finally. And convincing and influencing is part of your job as long as you're talking about the right things. Everybody will align to it. So that's part of everyone's job. We need to put our point very clearly to everyone to make the team align to it.
Of course. Now, let's assume that the employees that you work with or work or those who work under you, let's say they don't feel motivated by what you say, and this slowly leads to a conflict. How do you normal such conflicts or mistakes within the team?
We follow tolerance. It's quite possible for a human, thinking to have sometimes which is conflicting in nature to the other person's view. And sometimes people behave in matured way, and they lose their emotional balances sometime. Later they reconcile and come back and say, I'm sorry about it also. So, seasoned leaders understand these kind of challenges. They don't take emotional decisions. Even if the team takes emotional decisions, we have to follow rational. We have to have some kind of a tolerance and patience for the team to get aligned and come back. We can't choose people, who are already matured and seasoned. Everybody evolve, right? So the
Of course.
youngsters will have their own way of doing things. So this is very common. We don't do hire and fires model always. Uh, we work like a family, and beyond it, if there is a clear attitudinal issue which is affecting the overall team, no point being goody goody after doing everything from your side. Then there is a need to take action also.
Of course, completely agreed. Now, now, how would you say you would feel if an achievement is done by one of your team members? How do you normally respond to such things?
I immediately, acknowledge the achievement through an email or a
Of
certificate.
course.
We have some kind of a certification which a manager can give to the teams. We immediately do it and made that known to the top management, up to the business director. And we ensure such appreciations are accumulated, and we also give annualized perks. Then we also give awards. We offer them courses to do in premium institutes on various dynamic topics. So more than monetary, sometimes it's about giving them more responsibility, elevating them to take higher positions. All that is part of the way of motivating the team for an achievement.
Of course. Now, which achievement would you say you're most proud of from your team?
My team, okay, out of the total two awards to be nominated from the total sales and marketing organization, uh, you know, um, everything came to my function. There is a sales function, there is a marketing function. Okay. So this year, all the award nominees are from my team members for the
Oh,
chairman's individual award. So these are the ways we see our team growing.
of course. Now, when there need be for you to retire, or someone else from your company retiring, and a replacement comes along who's significantly younger, what advice would you give to the young people who are entering your industry?
So I think uh, one has to have both patience and also passion. So patience is something you need when there is crisis, when things are not in your favor. You need to be very practical and take right decisions and wait for things to shape up through your hard work and smart work. So there is nothing going to be happening very short. So people should not look for sometimes short-term results. We have to wait for long-term results and bigger purpose to be achieved. So both patience and passion, consistently. Passion is something, you can't expect big results without doing your great work. So develop
Of
passion for the field
course.
you choose. And once you take that field, irrespective of a leadership role or a smaller role, you should have deep passion to achieve what you want to accomplish.
Of
Then
course.
it's going to be great. Yeah.
Of course. Do you have any other things you... Okay, that's all the questions I have from my side. Do you have anything you want to add before we conclude the interview?
Good that you reached out to me for this interview.
Yeah,
I wish you all the very best. Okay.
of course, sir.
So my piece of guidance to you would be, while you're on academics, always think whatever you're studying today, you're going to apply it in some form or other form in the work you're going to do, either your own business or working in a big corporate. In whatever way, you have to apply all this academics into a resourceful output later on, right? So start thinking like that while you're doing studies, and start networking with the industry people on what their expectations are, how the industry is shaping up, and all that. That will help you to make your academics more practical than theoretical. Then you will start enjoying your academics, right?
Of course, sir.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time, sir. Your advice will be greatly beneficial to all the people who will be seeing this.
All the very best, Akshat.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.